Hi, and welcome back to your Public Affairs Programming Show. I am once again your host, Jackson Heaton, and really special guest in today. We're going to be talking to AmeriCorps and someone that is involved with AmeriCorps, Linda Thompson, and we're going to explain the dynamic between AmeriCorps and her title. Linda is the Executive Director for the Georgia Commission for Service and Volunteerism. Linda, as before we started this interview, you had to give me the background information. Let's go ahead and give everybody listening the difference or the similarities between AmeriCorps and your specific title.
Of course. So for those of you who may not be familiar with AmeriCorps, people often refer to AmeriCorps as the Domestic Peace Corps. You know, with the Domestic Peace Corps, people serve abroad and helping communities or countries to rebuild after disasters, to build a home, or to do various things connected to human needs, right? So AmeriCorps is similar to that, except people can serve in AmeriCorps right here at home in their own community and without having to go abroad. So let me just briefly explain to you the structure, if you don't mind. So the Georgia Commission for Service and Volunteerism, we're basically the pass-through agency for AmeriCorps funding here in Georgia. AmeriCorps, which is the agency, the Corporation for National Community Services, is a federal agency who grant funds, AmeriCorps funds, to each state commission. And then the state commission subgrant those funds to qualifying organizations, which are 501c3 nonprofit organizations, school entities, local governments, and educational institutions. Now, we, the Georgia Commission for Service and Volunteerism, also known as Georgia Serves, who are located within the Georgia Department of Community Affairs, which is a state agency created in 1977. And their mission is to build strong, vibrant communities. And they serve in three basic focus areas. And those areas are affordable housing, economic and community development, and government assistance. So that's where we, the Georgia Commission, fall into DCA, shorten it a little bit, because we do provide government assistance by providing AmeriCorps grants in the state of Georgia.
In Georgia, how do you go about when you say affordable housing, how are y'all going about doing that and with government assistance?
Well, AmeriCorps doesn't necessarily serve an area of affordable housing. There is a housing entity within the Department of Community Affairs who can help people with affordable housing. Now, how AmeriCorps may tie into housing, though, we don't have money for bricks and mortar, but we do have AmeriCorps members that agencies can apply for who can help elderly or people with disabilities to remain in their homes by helping them to make minor repairs or to help build housing. So through, like, for example, Habitat for Humanity.
How many AmeriCorps members serve here in Georgia?
About 597 this year, and it varies from year to year, depending on how many agencies apply for the funds and how many AmeriCorps members they request, which is totally their decision. But we have about 597 this year who will be serving through 22 different organizations.
No, but it's amazing that someone like AmeriCorps and what you do, that you do provide affordable housing for those that can't, afford to. There's so many people in this state, in this country, that don't know where their next meal is coming from, where they're going to be laying their head at night. So it's so important to have programs like these where they can get affordable housing, where they can get government assistance.
Now, I would recommend that people who are interested in affordable housing, because like I said, that's not exactly what we do, but that they contact DCA at www.dca.ga.gov. And then they can go to the housing site, and then they'll find where they can pose inquiries regarding affordable housing. But when it comes to AmeriCorps, basically what our members can do, if say people will need like minor repairs like insulation or windows, or if they want to serve with Habitat for Humanity to build houses, that's how we become involved with affordable housing. But with the Department of Community Affairs, there is a housing department that they can contact who may be able to assist them with rental assistance or even purchasing a home. But that's not my forte.
All right, and real quick, let's go back for those that have been listening. Real quick, what is AmeriCorps? Like, what is
So, right, okay, so AmeriCorps, like I said, is kind of like the Domestic Peace Corps, but these organizations who apply to us, if they're funded, then they go out and they recruit people that is known as AmeriCorps members, and those AmeriCorps members provide direct services. A good example is some programs who may be involved in education. They may work with the schools to help children who may be at risk of failing in reading or math. And that's just a really good example. And so those members may provide that direct service by serving as tutors. And those tutors help those children to bring their grade levels up to grade level or higher, so they're not any longer at risk of failing or dropping out of school. And that's just one example. They can serve in so many different areas. They can serve in areas of education, helping kids succeed in school, helping kids to get into college and be successful, helping veterans and military families, helping the homeless to find places to live, or helping people with no insurance or little insurance to find the services that they need. I mean, the list is endless of the things that AmeriCorps members can do.
Tell me about some most recent funding for AmeriCorps programs, for Georgia's AmeriCorps programs.
For Georgia's AmeriCorps programs, correct. Now, each year we receive between $4 and $4.5 million that we sub-grant out to eligible organizations. And this year, the governor did release a press release stating that we granted out close to $4 million to the 22 different organizations to implement AmeriCorps programs. Every year we receive roughly that amount of money. And the thing is, we don't receive the quality applications that we need to grant out all of that money. Usually we end up sending back, $500,000 plus back to the federal government. My thing is, I want to spend that money here in Georgia. And I know that we need it. I know that the need is there, but somehow AmeriCorps ends up still being the best kept secret, especially in rural communities. And so thank you for inviting us to this program to help us get the word out to those communities about AmeriCorps and the AmeriCorps opportunity. We're currently, I'm sorry, I know that you're wanting to ask me another question, but if I could just say this, we're currently gearing up to conduct several application workshops in the month of November. It's November 17th, 18th, and 19th, because we want to help people to understand the notice of funding opportunities, to understand how to complete the application when it's submitted, and provide all of that information to them. And we welcome new applicants to come to us and apply for AmeriCorps grants, because I know, like I say, I know the need is here in Georgia, and we want to spend all of that money. We want to invest that money in Georgia.
Two-part question. What are some traditional examples of AmeriCorps programs? And then secondly, what are some AmeriCorps programs that have been responding to COVID-19 related community needs?
Okay, so we have a really diversified portfolio of programs right now. We have program that comes to mind right now is Youth Villages. Youth Villages have a campus, and they serve children who've been displaced. Some are foster kids, and some are kids that maybe have some other issues that they're dealing with. But they have a campus where the AmeriCorps members and the students actually live 24/7, and they help them to be successful in school. And their goal is to not have any child leave that campus without connecting them with future employment. Another program that comes to mind is ESP, Extra Special People. Their focus is on people with disabilities and moving those people with disabilities, those who have the ability to do so, into running their own business, which I think is a really cool program, right? And then we have Jekyll Island. I'm sure you're familiar with Jekyll Island, but you're probably not familiar with the Jekyll Island Sea Turtle Center. It's an environmental program where they rescue the sea turtles that have been injured in the ocean by boat propellers or just people littering and things like that. And they actually have a turtle hospital. And most of their AmeriCorps members have a focus in the biologies or the sciences, and they nurse those sea turtles back to health and then release them back into the ocean. I could talk all day about our AmeriCorps programs, but you also asked about a program that's been active in COVID-19. Hands on Atlanta comes to mind. Hands on Atlanta is basically a tutoring and mentoring program, but when COVID arrived to the United States in March, some of their members volunteered and were deployed to help out some of the food banks. And so they were delivering food to people in need, delivering food to school children who maybe didn't have access to nutritional food during, the times that they were being homeschooled. Helping out with the food banks to pack the food boxes and things like that. And then we have communities and schools who did something similar, but communities and schools have members all across the state who serve in both rural and metro Atlanta to help children be successful at school. I could talk all day about our AmeriCorps programs. Let me know when you have that much time.
You sound very passionate about what AmeriCorps is doing too. I mean, I know very well Hands on Atlanta, and they do incredible things. I mean, here in Atlanta, I mean, just the nonprofits, the way the different nonprofits around here that are doing things to make Atlanta a better place to live. It's really heartwarming. It's really incredible to see how we can come together to make Atlanta a better place.
Right. And Clayton State University, you got me talking about this now, so you have to, but Clayton State University is another great program. Most of their members are actually Clayton State University students, and they serve on campus to help kids to be successful in college, to help kids, to also to matriculate through all of the paperwork and the student loans and all that kind of stuff that you need to go to college. But their members right there on the campus is almost like a sorority or fraternity or something, right? But they're so passionate about their service.
Yeah, y'all seem to do this every year. Tell me about opening day.
Oh, opening day. Opening day, we have opening day every year to welcome a new batch of AmeriCorps members who are serving in Georgia, right? And this year was our first year of having opening day virtually, right? And it actually turned out to be a lot of fun, though. And we were able to present some awards to some deserving AmeriCorps members and deserving AmeriCorps programs. We presented 3 awards, and those awards were, the Team of the Year and the Chairman's Award and the Beyond the Call Award. And so we issued those 3 awards, and then we had a really, great keynote speaker, and it was really well. We had a really good time. And then we were able to swear in, like I say, about 597 AmeriCorps members this year in Georgia. We didn't have all of those in attendance, but we had a pretty good number, probably about 250, 300 of them.
That's amazing. And real quick, tell me the benefits of being an AmeriCorps member.
There are so many benefits to being an AmeriCorps member, but right off the top of my head, there's the education award, right? So you can use that education award to pay for college tuitions or to pay for past student loans or to give it to, your kids or grandkids or foster kids. There's also the living allowance that you receive to help tide you over while you're, volunteering to serve to help your community. And there's just the spirit of serving, the esprit de corps, knowing that you're being a part of that solution and not a part of the problem. It helps you lay down at night and sleep well and you form relationships that last forever. And once they get that service, in their blood, it's like they want to keep serving. They want to keep serving. For members that need it, also another really good benefit is health insurance. If they need health insurance while they're serving, they're not on their parents' health insurance or something, we can pay for their health insurance. And some of the other benefits, it's just endless benefits, the experience you get. So you're not really an employee of that organization, you're an AmeriCorps member. So you get the chance to learn a new skill or learn something else. You may be, in between deciding, do I want to go to college right now? Or do I want to have a gap year? What do I want to do? It gives you the opportunity to do that. Oftentimes when members are serving, those organizations want to hire them full time. So it also leads to full-time employment. And I could talk all day about the benefits too, but those are the
benefits
basics.
Programs. We're just gonna have to do like a long interview with you sometime. Where can people go to learn more about all of this?
Well, you can go to DCA's website, which is www.dca.ga.gov, or you can also go to www.americorps.gov to learn more about AmeriCorps.
All right, well, Linda Thompson, Executive Director for the Georgia Commission for Service and Volunteerism. I thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me virtually.